Richard Beach here from SonicState.com at Music MESSE 2015. I'm with Tor from TC Electronic, who's going to talk us through the new stereo Ditto looper. This is the third iteration of the Ditto, or the fourth?
It's actually the third. So yeah, originally we came out with the mini Ditto looper, which is like, it's a pretty radical departure in terms of, you know, what a looper could do. Basically we just removed everything and just boiled it down to the very bare essence, or distilled it, so to speak. So with that, obviously, that became a huge success. And with that, you always get users going like, oh, I wish it did this, and I wish it did that. And that's really what Ditto X2 came out of, which is our bigger looper with 2 foot switches. But a lot of users basically wanted that in-between kind of thing, that regular classic pedal size that we all know and love. So, I mean, it was just really a no-brainer to make that. And what you get with Ditto Stereo that you don't get with the regular Ditto looper is that, well, first of all, you get all the same things. So you get 5 minutes of looping time, you get 2 bypass, unlimited overdubs, analog drive-through, all that stuff. And then on top of that, you get 3 things that are pretty cool. So first of all, you get the stereo option, which is nice if you play in stereo. The other thing is that it's actually dual mono, as we call it, which means that it's true stereo, meaning you can actually plug a guitar and a bass into the pedal at the same time, and then you can have them go out to 2 separate amps. So if you're in a little, you know, if you're playing a little, you know, like a duo thing where you have a bass guitar player and an electric guitar player or something like that, you can actually share the looper between you and do stuff like that. The other thing you get is battery power. The little Ditto looper is too small to actually have a battery inside. So you get battery power, which is nice, especially for acoustic guitar players who are not used to lugging around pedal boards and power supplies and all that stuff. And the last thing, which is really, really cool, is the backing track feature. So the backing track feature is basically a way to import and export tracks in and out of the pedal. So let's say you create a loop on the fly and you go like, ooh, this is really cool, this could actually be the basis of a song. You can take that loop out of the pedal into your computer and work on it in Logic or Cubase or GarageBand or whatever.
In what format can you do that in?
You actually get several formats. So you get 2. You get WAV files and you get AEF, which is the Mac equivalent. So 2 lossless formats, really. The other thing you can do is you can do the opposite. So let's say you're working on a backing track. It could just be a drums, or it could be some guitar, or it could be a full song. You can actually import that into the pedal and play over that as well. And the last thing that's really cool with that is that we know that a lot of guitar players use Ditto not for performing like these big intricate pieces of music like, you know, Ed Sheeran type where you basically build a whole song. A lot of guitar players basically use it as a virtual rhythm guitar player. So if you sit at home practicing your scales, you know, playing pentatonic scales by yourself gets pretty boring pretty fast. So having a looper is actually a way to get like, suddenly have your scale and your practicing suddenly makes sense in a musical context, because suddenly you have harmony, so your note choices actually start mattering more, and you have rhythm, so you got to pay attention to that as well. So it'll actually make you a better player having a looper to practice with. So what we figured is that instead of just having that, we'd actually make it even more fun and easy for guitar players to start having fun looping and practicing. So we asked a bunch of really great guitar players to create loops. So if you ever fancied having like Steve Morse or Paul Gilbert or John Petrucci be your rhythm guitar player, you can actually go on our website and download little loops that they've done for free and load them into the pedal and actually have them tirelessly play rhythm guitar while you noodle away for hours on end.
I think I'd be embarrassed having Paul Gilbert play rhythm guitar for me.
They don't judge you. We don't send it to them afterwards.
Maybe that would be good if we did send.
That could actually be that's the next idea. We basically send them and you get comments on.
And for them it could be like Tinder, but for loops, so they could just swipe left or right depending on which one.
That doesn't work. That's pretty good. Yeah.
That'd be cool. Let's do that when we get home.
Yeah. That's a product idea. We'll credit SonicState for that.
Thank you very much. So can we hear it in action?
Yeah, and you know the way it works is really, really simple. You press once to start recording. When you press again, it starts playing back. If I press again, you do an overdub. Press again, it plays that, and so on and so on. If I press and hold, I'll undo the last overdub. Press again, I'll redo the last overdub, and that's pretty much all there is to it. So I'll see if I can come up with something. The idea. So I can do an overdub if I want to. doesn't like it, I can take it away again. So I can remove that, bring it back in again, and then of course, when I'm ready for it, I can solo over that. And I can stop it because it really wasn't all that good, but you get the idea anyway.
I liked it, if that counts for anything.
Oh, well. So that's pretty much the idea of Ditto Looper. It's, you know, you can use it for practicing, and of course you can also use it in that kind of more composer, musician type way, you could say.
So it kind of works in a pretty similar way to the looper on the Flashback x4.
It does. It's sort of similar, but the way I see the looper on Flashback X4 is that Flashback X4 is mainly a delay pedal with some basic looping functionality built in. But the looping time on Flashback X4 is 40 seconds. Okay. This is, actually we say it's 5 minutes, but it's really more like 7 minutes. Right. Just sounds nice and, yeah. So, and the other thing is that on Flashback X4 it doesn't store the loop when you power off. Yeah. This will store the loop for all eternity. Okay, cool. And the last thing, I mean, it really is a matter of preference, but you know, some people prefer the bigger loopers because you have, it's almost having like a transport on your, you know, on your workstation, so you have play and record and pause and all that stuff. And some guitar players prefer to have individual switches for each and every thing because it makes it easier to control. Yep. But I find often in a live situation, if you're playing guitar and concentrating on that, and you're also singing and concentrating on that, and you try to get some kind of connection with the audience, having to also look down and actually look at what switches you're trying to hit can be a little bit tricky sometimes. So having just a one-switch looper, once you get the mechanics down of the, you know, press and hold and double tap and all that stuff, you don't have to worry about it anymore because you just have your foot in the right position and, you know, it's right there where you need it.
All right, brilliant. So thanks for that. There's just one more thing I want to point out, and that is that the picture on your business card is not you.
It's actually, I should have brought the last one. So this is the second iteration. The first one I had, I'm totally bald, no beard at all, and wearing glasses. So they changed it to this one, and now you're probably right. I should get that updated again.
What year is that photo from?
That's probably like 3 years old or something like that.
So that's how long the hair's been?
Yeah, it takes a little while.
Okay, fair enough. All right, brilliant. Thanks very much for your time. Thanks for watching at home. And if you want to see more videos from Music MESSE 2015, then go to sonicstate.com. Thanks.